evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
My name's Cindy Lauper.
And you're watching Examining the Expanse. Sean Connery died.
Oh no. Actually made me really sad.
Yeah, huh? I was at a Halloween party.
Oh, were you?
Halfway through the night, like, Sean Connery died. Like, what?
90 years old though, he had a good run.
Yeah, I think he had like dementia too. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died like peacefully, whatever.
Yeah, it's bad, had a good run. Yeah. Started off as like some poor bumpkin kid, then went into the Navy. You know who's a bodybuilder that always won Mr. Olympia?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then just randomly got into acting. Became like the biggest leading man in the world for the 60s with all the Bond movies.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was a bodybuilder and became just randomly an actor, so...
Yeah, it's funny too. I think Connery was like Mr. Olympia in like the 50s, and it's just like a muscly guy, eh? Like Amos was bigger than him.
Yeah.
It's funny how the standards for like bodybuilding has just like become this ridiculous, over the top, weird, disgusting thing.
Roid Hulk monsters.
Yeah. Well, it just escalates over time, I guess, like fucking everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wanted to watch Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah,
It's a great
yeah.
movie, yeah.
Have you seen The Man Who Would Be King?
Yes, I have seen that, and it is a fucking great movie with bloody younger Michael Caine.
Yeah, and they're like the two English fucking generals or whatever, and they go and fucking take over that community.
Ironically, it's not the first time that Michael Caine had worn the English
British Imperial
uniform,
red,
with the hat, the hat.
Well, yeah, it could be a companion piece to Zulu.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the same period, I guess.
Connery and Caine, rogue and renegade, reckless and fearless soldiers of fortune on the richest adventure of their life. Across 1,000 miles of danger, come with Sean Connery and Michael Caine as they try to capture a whole country, a scheme for rascals to become royalty in the long-lost land of Alexander the Great. Rudyard Kipling's The Man Who Would Be King.
I watched it ages ago.
Zulu or Man Who Would Be King?
Both.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch both of them. Yeah, I was in high school when I watched them, and I'm an elderly man now, so yeah, it's hard to remember. I remember Sean Connery's mutton chops being amazing. And of course, Zardos.
Zardos is a fucking great movie.
One of the,
It's actually like a good movie. Like, it's okay, right? It's like a weird sort of sci-fi.
Yeah, it's silly and ridiculous, but at the same time, it's actually like a serious science fiction.
Yeah.
It goes into all this stuff.
They explore a bunch of concepts and stuff, yeah.
And it's really like cool, like the world when that head just floats down. It's like,
Zardos.
It's
like, okay, I can fucking buy this. Yeah, I'm not saying like people are saying it's like an awful movie. I don't think that.
No, it was
okay. Yeah.
It was fucking weird and off the wall.
Well, we've watched heaps of weird and off the wall movies, right?
Yeah, so, Sean Connery in a red jockstrap is not as weird as we gotten.
Zardos speaks to you, his chosen ones. The gun is good.
It doesn't like go in some weird like it kind of like normalizes a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like he's in this weird jock strap or whatever, and there's a giant floating head or whatever. But then it sort of like levels out and does something that maybe you wouldn't expect. Maybe you'd expect it to be like to continue to be all weird.
Yeah, but it just stays with that world and develops it. But yeah, and it's an interesting concept. All the people that, well, when they do something which is a social profile, they get like aged slightly. So they're all in this realm of conforming to this specific like idea that society should have. Otherwise, you age. So yeah, this nice little fucking interesting ideas floating around.
Yeah.
And Sean Connery in a jockstrap.
Yeah.
What else could you want?
Took a woman in his name, Zardos.
Have you seen The Boys season 2?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I watched it.
What did you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It's really good. I really, it was really excellent, actually.
Yeah. I haven't watched season 1 since it came out.
No, I didn't rewatch it before rewatching season.
I think it was good though because when you watch season 1, you're like, holy fuck, this takes like the violence and the sexual content and the language like 20% further than I expected it.
Yeah.
And then like I forgot about that. And,
Yeah.
my brain reset and I came into season 2 and once again it's like, oh okay.
Oh yeah. I remember what The Boys is.
Yeah. It's just everything goes that little bit further than you think it's gonna be. To the point where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest part about that show is what's his face playing the Scottish guy.
Oh yeah, Carl Urban.
Yeah, it's like really
English
over
guy.
the top and stupid.
Yeah.
Really stupid. It's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
I love it. Like it's like
just
okay.
a ridiculous fucking Cockney
Yeah.
accent with all of the fucking rhyming jargon.
And it's great.
And he says
plays-
cunt all the time.
And he plays it really well.
Yeah.
It's like okay, yeah.
And then like Homelander as well. It's
Ah.
so like complex.
Well, that scene where he's doing the press conference or whatever, and he fucking just starts like cutting down.
I was like, is this happening? And unfortunately, it was like a fake.
And it's like we're going on a fucking boy spiel now, right? So
fine.
the thing about Homeland, it's so excellent, right? Is it's like, what if Superman was like a real person, like just essentially a normal like a
If you
human
had
being,
complete
right?
control over everything and everybody.
Yeah.
How would you turn out?
If you were basically invincible and could just fucking shoot, if you could shoot laser beams out of your eyes, right? What would you be like?
Yeah, and the actor plays it so well. He's got that public face where he's like, Mr. Nice Guy. And all
He's Mr. Patriotic.
And then when he does the psychotic stuff, he's fucking great.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking insane, twisted psychopath.
Well, it's always so tense around him because you know who he
everyone's
is now.
fucking eggshells.
and like the new villain, right? She was great. The whole Nazi thing is really interesting, and the way that she was like using social media, and it was kind of like analogous to what's happening now. And
it's all like a thriving political commentary on the current social, political, economic landscape.
It was, and she's like a psychopath as well, and she likes to, I like to see the light go out of people's eyes. Like,
she's a literal Nazi. So Boy season 2. I mean, I didn't expect much from any of it really, and I'm always just like pleasantly surprised with it.
Well, you watch the first one and it kind of blows your mind, and then you go.
It's like Deadpool. When you first see Deadpool, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Does
now,
the same thing. Takes a superhero universe and then ramps it up.
Turns it on its head. Right. And it's excellent. That's kind of what we want to see. That's what people want to see, right? You've got the sort of sterile Marvel universe, except for things like Thor Ragnarok, which kind of stand out. And then
it's got Carl Urban in it as well.
It does too. You're right. Yeah. He's a really good actor.
Yeah. He was like a shitty fucking New Zealand like soap opera actor, and then Peter Jackson picked him up for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
After that, it was like.
What was he in Lord of the Rings?
It was Eroma, the.
That's right. He was too.
Yeah, it was some shitty Shoreland Street, which is like their neighbours. Now he's fucking in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He's like a AAA actor.
Yeah, Star Trek, the new ones. He played Bones.
Dredd. He was really good in Bones. Really good in Dredd. Dredd was really good.
I never saw Dredd.
You've never seen Dredd?
No,
it's
everyone
really good.
keeps on telling me it's good, but
watch it. It's good.
It.
Yeah, it's fucking really good.
I'll watch it.
You're not gonna watch it.
Before I die.
You should watch
I got
it.
50 years to watch
in
it.
20 seconds. You got 20 seconds before you die, Alex. So you better hop to it. You better run. I want to see you run. No. Yeah, but so you'd think that the second season isn't going to blow my mind as much, and it didn't. Right? It's like first seeing the first one, but it's not like it wasn't underwhelming or anything. It was really good.
Yeah.
And they didn't let any of the sort of established and explored concepts get boring or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So the Expanse. We're talking about the Expanse.
Who wants to talk about the Expanse?
On this show about the Expanse.
People will watch it. People watch it, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, 10 minutes of this," and then they'll just turn it off because I didn't want to see a thing of the boys.
That's good. I hope they turn it off. I hope you all turn this off. Do it!
0 subscribers.
Really? Marcos Anaras, this is his first appearance. And yeah, the show is really going to the effort of setting him up for season 5. But he's not in book 4 at all. Book 4 is just Ilos and the proto-molecule and that kind of like western landscape in a little town and the politics playing out.
The frontier sort of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, the show was like, we need to set this guy up earlier. And the actor who plays him is great. He's super charismatic, super engaging.
Well, that's his character, right? He's really
Yeah. He's the leader who's gonna fucking get everyone on his side through his charm and his wit and his intelligence and then fuck shit up.
All these colony ships filled to the tits with soil and medicine. Shelters, recyclers, all the things that could have made the belt a paradise still can. Right there for taking.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, of course it makes sense that fucking while the inners are distracted with whatever their bullshit they're doing, the OPA, there's going to be elements in the OPA that come out and try to exploit it, right?
Yeah,
of course it fucking is.
Well, yeah, the belt has been this thing for so long, and they've been the renegades and the outcasts and social pariahs.
They're not dealing with they're not currently like dealing with the sort of like, oh, you know, we need to stand down and like, you know, decide if we're going to go into the frontier or whatever. They're still like under the heel of the fucking inners, right?
Yeah,
He's right, he's correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't give a shit.
You can't just come in after fucking decades and decades of fuckery and be like, okay, there's a treaty now.
Yeah.
You need to give all your prisoners over to us, you need to agree to all these terms and conditions. He's like, fuck that, we're the belt.
Yeah, what?
We've always been the belt.
Yeah.
These fucking inner pieces of shit have always had their fucking foot on our fucking throat. And now, because of the ring gate fucking opens up and shit changes.
But we're still not allowed to go through.
Yeah, they're still fucking us.
Yeah, well, they're telling us what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
As if we're not like an equally important element in the three-way fucking clusterfuck that is the solar system.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, they are. That's exactly what they are, you know? It's like fucking, you know, and while the inners are arrogant in taking their fucking eye off the ball. Right? Like Mars taking their eye off the ball and allowing weapons and technology to be smuggled out to the fucking OPA.
Yeah, well, they're like thriving military culture now is all fucking collapsing under the weight of the...
And it's all just been, and they're just strengthening the fucking OPA.
Yeah. Well, fucking yeah. I like how it goes into all these different factions of the belt too.
Yeah.
It's like widening the world building. We see all these different clans. And yeah, his message makes sense.
Well, it's the typical like downtrodden, you know, we're going to rise up message, right? The OPA has been established to be saying that same fucking thing. Like Anderson Dawes says the same stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And Naomi when she was younger.
Yeah, Naomi.
It's the whole culture. Well, fucking Ashford, he was the fucking renegade pirate. They're all fucking renegade pirates who would be like, no, we're a legitimate culture now. We're gonna clean our shit up and get. And it's like, no,
you fucking
fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck these people.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah. And it's like, and you know, and it was interesting to see when they're like doing the sentencing of him, right? And Drummer reads the room. Correctly, I would say correctly. She does read the room, even though it obviously has really bad consequences.
Well, yeah, she's going to regret that later on, but
she read the room
at the time. Yeah.
Which was an interesting twist, right?
Yeah, it's made a decision she thought was appropriate.
Yeah, it's just interesting, like actions and consequences, and you know. Not two-dimensional like agendas from our characters and
Golden Bow and Black Sky already feared their position will decline once the blockade is lifted and Medina becomes fully operational. If we handed out a death sentence against their votes, we would have been asking for a civil war. I did what had to be done.
Yes, but his words will sway more.
I love like the exploration into Naomi's character too, and like the idea of people changing as they get older and like reforming. Like he talks about her and him when they were young and like this vodka-fueled swagger where like they were the belters and fuck everything. And yeah, they like blew up a ship and killed people and Naomi was this like idealistic belter terrorist fucking shit up, and now she's grown and evolved and moved and changed, and her son's been taken. It's really interesting because a lot of people, they just condemn people for who they are and then don't allow them to change.
Yeah,
they grow as a human.
It's like real life typecasting. Right? It's like no.
You made a mistake in the past. You shall forever be held accountable.
We're gonna continue to squeeze you back into the box. Get back into the fucking box, you piece of shit.
Then there's this great like juxtaposition with the Belter lady down in Ilos who blew up the RCA ship, and like she fucked up and did this horrible thing, and Naomi's kind of like, well, you know, I did as well, but I was younger and I changed and moved on and grew, and I've tried to justify it. And
she's also been through some shit too, right? But like fucking all these people were adults. Right, like all these people that eviscerated that ship were adults.
And what I'm trying to do here, Steve, is justify terrorism, man.
Justify like murder.
No. We can all be reformed and changed.
Yeah, so like again, like Murtry going on a fucking like a blood hunt for this person. I'm not. It's like all the you know, it's funny because the opening shot where he basically puts a final bullet in one of the guys that were gonna like attack them. Everybody's like, oh, and everybody's going on. It's like, well, yeah.
It was the reasonable course of action to take. Completely and utterly justified.
They were gonna fucking like kill them.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Die?
Yeah, I know. Well, no, that's, you know, I can't do anything against them because that's, you know, they're belters.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the, I have to take moral high road, and then they kill you, and they continue to do exactly what they've done with no like reflection on their actions. Yeah.
Continue to repeat the same fucking.
It's kind of like they're in the middle of fucking like nowhere. It's like if they're gonna act like it's the Wild West, then Murtry's gonna treat it like it's the Wild West.
Well, yeah, it is. The rules past the gate don't really apply here, especially later on when communications and shit get cut.
Yeah.
I'm like, old mate Murtry's acting like for the RCA and stuff, but it just gets to a point where it's like, no. This is the frontier town. Shit's going wild, and we are just all acting on our own wills.
Where it's every man, woman, and child for themselves.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, Avasarala sends Holden in and is like the diplomat to deal with the Belters and to deal with the RCA and come to like some conclusion. And at the end of this episode, he just walks down and beats the shit out of Murtry. He's like, we're not doing this anymore. I'm taking command.
Yeah, you're not in control anymore.
Fuck all of this.
Holden the badass. When did that happen?
He was aiding and abetting a terrorist who just killed 24 innocent people on board my ship.
This ends now. You're not in charge anymore.
Four-season arc from the timid young guy who didn't want to take responsibility and be the XO, and then he was forced onto the Rocinante and just through happenstance became the captain, and he's evolved, and now he's like,
fuck you, fuck this. Shoot a missile at it. I'm in control now. I'm taking charge. We're gonna do what I say.
Well, it's funny because he's dealing with the proto-molecule, and then he just like keeps on getting calls like, Murtry's moving.
He's like, for fuck's sake.
I'm trying to deal with this fucking crazed fucking alien species here. You just need to stop.
This needs to stop. Well, I can't deal with this right now. Right? Well, I mean, that's what he was sent there to do, really, was to go and like figure out what the hell's going on.
And none of them have fucking had the ego death and been on the ring station and been on Ilos and Eros and fucking Ganymede and all that. So they're just like, oh, lithium, oh, belters.
Well, you got to imagine what effect it has, like that entire sequence with the station, right, where he basically is trusting this ghost in his brain, right, and like the sort of leaps of faith that he was making.
Yeah.
You've got to imagine what that does to a person, and like, you know, after you've gone through that, like, it's like, what, you know, how do you deal with basically normal what is normal now, like a normal situation. Well, you just fucking you fix it, right?
And him just taking action and doing what this ghost in his head is telling is being reinforced by working every other time. So now it's like, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm just gonna do what I think is fucking right. Because he does kind of have the answers, but then he's getting manipulated.
He kind of does.
Not what he thinks, and they're kind of using him. But he doesn't realise that.
No, but then he ends up realising that, and that it's too late to, he's not going to, like, regress or anything.
Yeah. You can't give Murtry the control of the proto-molecule, or that fat Belter.
No, well, they have no idea what they're doing, right?
They're concerned about lithium.
They have no idea of, like, the scope. None of them, like, none of them have any idea.
The larger fucking chest.
The larger picture, right? And none of them know. It's like, oh, well, no, you can't take the lithium. It's like, man, I don't give a shit about lithium. Fuck you.
Fuck the lithium.
Fuck the lithium.
In conclusion, this is a great little building block to setting up Marcos's character and the belts and their past ideology and what's happening and pulling them together and drawing all these factions together. And it all makes sense because they set up the ideology and the world building of the belt.
Well, they spent 3 or 4 seasons like setting all that shit up.
Yeah, and as we said with like Drama and Ashford and Naomi, of course they would be sympathetic to this. It's their culture. It's their ideology. It's part of their DNA. And the Belters have physically changed due to their fucking circumstances and lifestyles.
Well, they weren't. It's like for however many generations, they were given inadequate like gravity and inadequate water and like inadequate air and all this sort of shit. Like the worst of the worst working class. Like conditions.
And turn them into fucking renegades.
And turn them into fucking.
When you can die mining fucking ice asteroids.
For some, what you would perceive as like a hoity-toity piece of shit on Earth.
People living with an atmosphere and water and land. Fuck them.
Fuck them. Time to seize the means of production.
The actor's great. I love the actor. He's charismatic as a character and he's charismatic in real life, so they've done well, and he's definitely going to be a great antagonist for season 5. He has the capability to fucking be that main like obstacle for everyone to overcome. Because if your villain doesn't work, then it all just falls apart.
Of course it does. No, they're not.
If Darth Vader was pink when he walked in episode 4, it doesn't work.
If Darth Vader was made comical by like some serious fucking errors in judgment. No.
Georgie. Anyway, we're not talking about Star Wars again. You got anything else you want to add?
No.
This episode was basically just Marco.
Oh, Bobbie's doing what she's doing too.
She is doing what she's doing. That's the correct assessment. Thank you for watching.
They're all doing things on the screen. Things are happening. The pixels are flickering.
Glad you guys tuned in. The events that are transpiring on the Expanse continue to transpire on the Expanse as they did when they transpired. Good night!
It's not nighttime, it's daytime.
They're going to be watching at night.
How do you know?
Because that's the only time you watch this show. At night.
That's assuming people watch the show.